A road trip is a long-distance journey on the road. Typically, road trips are long distances traveled by automobile. History. The first road trip by automobile. The world's first recorded long-distance road trip by automobile took place in Germany in August 1888 when Bertha Benz, the wife of Carl Benz, the inventor of the first patented motor car, traveled from Mannheim to Pforzheim in the third experimental Benz motor car and back, with her two teenage sons Richard and Eugen, but without the consent and knowledge of her husband. Her official reason was that she wanted to visit her mother, but unofficially she intended to generate publicity for her husband's invention, which succeeded as the automobile took off greatly afterwards, and the Benz's family business eventually evolved into the present-day Mercedes-Benz Company. Presently there is a dedicated signposted scenic route in Baden-Württemberg called the Bertha Benz Memorial Route to commemorate her historic first road trip. The first road trips in North America. The first successful North American transcontinental trip by automobile took place in 1903 and was piloted by H. Nelson Jackson and Sewell K. Crocker, accompanied by a dog named Bud. The trip was completed using a 1903 Winton touring car, dubbed Vermont by Jackson. The trip took a total of 63 days between San Francisco and New York, costing $8,000. The total cost included items such as food, gasoline, lodging, tires, parts, other supplies, and the cost of the Winton. The first woman to cross the American landscape by car was Alice Ramsey with 3 female passengers in 1909. Ramsey left from Hell's Gate in Manhattan, New York and traveled 59 days to San Francisco, California. Ramsey was followed in 1910 by Blanche Stewart Scott, who is often mistakenly cited as the first woman to make the cross-country journey by automobile east to west. Expansion of highways in the United States. New highways in the early 1900s helped propel automobile travel in the United States, primarily cross-country travel. Commissioned in 1926, and completely paved near the end of the 1930s, U.S. Route 66 is a living icon of early modern road tripping. Motorists ventured cross-country for holiday as well as migrating to California and other locations. The modern American road trip began to take shape in the late 1930s and into the 1940s, ushering in an era of a nation on the move. The 1950s saw rapid growth of ownership of automobiles by American families. The automobile, now a trusted mode of transportation, was being widely used for not only commuting but leisure trips as well. As a result of this new vacation by road style, many businesses began to cater to road-weary travelers. More reliable vehicles and services made long-distance road trips easier for families, as the length of time required to cross the continent was reduced from months to days. Within 1 week, the average family can travel to destinations across North America. The greatest change to the American road trip was the start and subsequent expansion of the interstate highway system. The higher speeds and controlled access nature of the interstate allowed for greater distances to be traveled in less time and with improved safety. As highways became divided, travelers from European countries, Australia, and elsewhere soon came to the U.S. to take part in the American idea of a road trip. Canadians also engaged in road trips, taking advantage of the large size of the nation and close proximity to destinations in the United States. Possible motivations. Many people may go on road trips for recreational purpose. Other motivations for long-distance travel by automobile include visitation of relatives who may live far away, or relocation of one's permanent living space. Distance and location of road trips. Generally, while road trips can occur at any mass of land, large masses of land are the most common location for the occurrence of road trips. The most popular locations for road trips include Canada, mainland U.S., and Central Europe. This is because, since these areas of land are composite, travel is more seamless, accessible, and efficient than travel within smaller and non-contiguous, remote countries, such as Nauru. In addition to the fact that these countries tend to offer more points of interest than smaller ones, this may also be due to the distance required to qualify as a road trip, which residents of smaller bodies of land may find themselves incapable of achieving. While there is no consensus as to what distance or time must be spent in order for the event to qualify as a road trip, it is a commonly held belief that commuting by means of automotive transportation should not qualify as a road trip, regardless of the distance. Some argue that travel may not require a set distance to qualify as a road trip. Road trips in the United States. In the United States, a road trip typically implies leaving the state, or in extreme cases, leaving the country for others such as Canada or Mexico. However, in larger states, travel within the state may also be considered a road trip. Notable road trips in culture, literature. Jack Kerouac, On the Road. Bill Bryson, The Lost Continent, travels in small-town America. F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Crows of the Rolling Junk. Vladimir Nabokov, Lolita. Mary Roberts Rinehart, Through Glacier Park in 1915, Seeing America First with Howard Eaton. John Steinbeck, Travels with Charlie. In Search of America. Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. A Savage Journey to the Heart of the American Dream, a Roman eclair rooted in autobiographical incidents. Mark Twain, Roughing It. Because African American travelers faced a variety of dangers and inconveniences on the road, New York mailman and travel agent Victor H. Green published annually the Negro Motorist Green Book to tackle such problems and to give the Negro traveler information that will keep him from running into difficulties, embarrassments, and to make his trip more enjoyable. Quote, "This guidebook for African Americans was published in the United States from 1936 to 1966, during the Jim Crow era, when discrimination against non-whites was widespread." Photography in the Open Road. Photography in AMP, The American Road Trip. The photography writer David Campany introduces the photographic road trip as a genre. The first book to do so. Robert Frank, The Americans. Sean O'Hagan, writing in The Guardian, about the inclusion of the Americans as the starting point in Campany's The Open Road. Photography in AMP, The American Road Trip, said Swiss-born Frank set out with his Guggenheim grant to do something new and unconstrained by commercial diktats. His aim was to photograph America as it unfolded before his somewhat somber outsider's eye. Ed Rusher, 26 Gasoline Stations. Stephen Shaw, Uncommon Places and American Surfaces. Films with road trips as a major theme. Many movies and other forms of media have been made which focus upon the topic of road trips, including The Namesake. Many tend to be comedic in nature, although road movies such as Easy Rider and Thelma and Louise exemplify the American dream. Easy Rider, an American road movie. National Lampoon's Vacation, a comedy film series initially based on filmmaker-writer John Hughes' short story Vacation 58, that was originally published by National Lampoon magazine. The series is distributed by Warner Brothers and consists of 7 films. Road Trip, an American road comedy film. RV, an American road comedy film. The Bucket List, a comedy-drama film. Thelma and Amp, Louise, an American crime drama film. Road tripping in music. Many songs approach the idea of road tripping, as often music is listened on the radio during road trips. Born to be Wild, a song by Steppenwolf, also considered by some to be the first heavy metal song. The eponymous Road Trippin' by Red Hot Chili Peppers, one of the less-known singles. Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. Here I Go Again by Whitesnake. Take It Easy by the Eagles. Have Love Will Travel by the Sonics. Route 66, a popular rhythm and blues song about the cities and towns through which Route 66 passes. Since it has been released, it has been recorded by many bands such as Aerosmith, Bing Crosby, Chuck Berry, The Rolling Stones, Them, Asleep at the Wheel, and Depeche Mode. Roadhouse Blues, The Doors.